Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
The following portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Good evening and welcome to The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. The man police believe is responsible for killing his 5-year-old brother 5 days ago appeared in court today. It was last week in a home on Strawn's Alley off Kemp Road that the little boy's body was found. His throat had been slashed and he'd been stabbed to death. Fern Carey has details of the arraignment.
Chained at the wrist and under heavy police guard, 20-year-old Wenzel Knowles appeared unemotional as he arrived at the Nassau Street Magistrate Court to face a murder charge. The Kemp Road resident is accused of killing his 5-year-old brother Daquan Clark 5 days ago at their Strawn's Alley Kemp Road home. Eyewitnesses say Knowles was babysitting Daquan, the youngest of 4 children, when the tragedy occurred. Daquan's sister reportedly made the shocking discovery when she returned home from work. Police say the Uriah McPhee Primary School student was found with a laceration to the neck and chest. In court, Chief Magistrate Roger Gomez charged Knowles with intentionally and by means of unlawful harm causing the death of Daquan Clark. Asked if he understood the charge, Knowles said he did. Now, the prosecutor made an application for Knowles to be sent to Sandilands for 14 days for an evaluation. He returns to court in April of next year. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, an accused murderer apologized to the court today for allegedly killing C.C. Sweeting student Sewell Gardner back on November 22nd. 27-year-old Charles Hanna Jr. was formally charged before Chief Magistrate Roger Gomez with Gardner's murder. But moments after his arraignment, he apologized to the victim's family for what happened, saying it wasn't supposed to, quote, go down the way it did, end quote. Gardner was fatally stabbed after police say he retaliated after his 14-year-old brother was allegedly robbed of his sunglasses and lunch money on the way to school. Hanna has been remanded to prison. He's due back in court on April 16th of next year. 26 people are homeless this holiday season after 2 separate fires gutted their homes. And as Andrew Knowles tells us, one of those fires occurred yet again in a Haitian community.
Charred debris is all that remains today after a fire ripped through several homes in a Haitian shanty village in Gamble Heights. A displaced resident holds his baby son while children look through the rubble of what used to be their home. A scent of smoke still remains. Patrick Charles is a resident of the area. He told our news team he heard screams of fire, fire, and went to see what happened.
And at the time I was coming, I saw the blaze was just exploding, a whole heap of stuff exploding from the fire. Everybody started running and scattering. By the time anybody could do anything, it was already too late. The fire was already taking up the whole area, blowed everything, explosive stuff, tank of gas and stuff that was inside, explosive canned goods, all kind of stuff. It was just blowing off the place.
Fire officials raced to the scene, where the cluster of homes burned to the ground, leaving at least 10 people homeless this holiday season.
Upon arrival, the officers from the fire services met several structures well ablaze. All of the units that are on the Providence were summoned to that fire, and the fire was immediately controlled and extinguished. And as a result of that, a number of persons have been homeless. Several structures have also received extensive damages.
Village residents say the fire started in the back room of one of the homes and may have been the work of an arsonist. Fortunately, no one was hurt. But that wasn't the only fire that happened this weekend.
Yesterday morning, we also had a fire in Croton Street, and this involved an 11-room, single-story wooden structure, and that particular building was destroyed as a result of the fire after the fire officials had completed the extinguishment process. As a result of this, 26 persons during this past weekend have been left homeless.
And one thing we know that's certain is that Christmas won't be a bright one for these displaced residents, as all they can do right now is just rummage through the rubble to try and pick up the pieces. In the meantime, investigations continue. Andrew Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Today, Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade is warning the public about their private parties and other holiday events. He says police will be looking out for infractions.
It is unlawful, it is illegal to just have a party in a street, blocking the street or in a yard and making a nuisance. Any music that is turned too loud or loud to the extent that other residents are offended becomes an offense. I've asked officers on patrol to seek those things out and to shut them down. I'm also going to go further. We're going to bring charges. We normally issue a warning, but I think people need to hear us. Everyone in this country has a right to their peace and the sanctity of their homes and their property during the holiday season. I dare say throughout the year. It is not fair for someone just to arbitrarily in the neighborhood put a big speaker on the outside blaring music well into the morning. That is illegal and it should not happen.
Well, the police chief is also sending a warning to liquor license holders.
Liquor license premises that are remaining open beyond the time of their licenses and allowing people on their property to commit offenses are going to receive our full attention. We will be checking. We are going to support all of our people, business people and members of the public at large, but we need us all to simply obey the law.
Well, still to come, we're just hours away now from the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. Can you still get tickets? Find out coming up.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.